apologise. It decided to have a hissy fit again. And continue. The foam itself doesn't smell great, but it is very squidgeable. It is very much something that I can use to distract my hands while I'm doing other things, while I'm sorting out my anxiety and my emotions and all the rest of it, because I need to keep my hands busy just to do that. And it also makes a really cool noise when it's shook about in the box, which you probably can't hear on camera because I'm not close enough to the mic to do that. But this is also something that travels really well and really calmly. It's really handy. I usually, if I know I'm going somewhere for a long period of time, like the doctors or the hospital, I will chuck one in my bag, and that way I've got something I can play with while also waiting, so I don't get as bored. Just never give your dog it, or any kind of creature it. Don't eat it. It's not designed for that. I have modelling clay. Oh, it's not clay, it's dough. Super soft modelling dough, which I haven't actually opened yet. But again, it's the same sort of thing as the foam. I like the feel of it. I like the colours. And I like the fact that I can use it to calm my hands, to chill myself out, to relax, to make sure that it doesn't go all over, though I do try and do it very, very carefully, because this is stuff, again, is something that would be a nightmare and a half to get out of carpet. I use it, or I will be using it when I've got it out, in a tactile sense, so that I've got a way of keeping my hands busy. Or I will use it to make shapes, which usually helps me to find my thought processes easier. I use numbers in it as well, which will then help me think things through all the way. So that'll be what that's used for. I have a selection of balls, so I'm just going to pick them all up one by one, show them you, and then do the explanation, because that's easier. And it does make more sense that way. I have this one, which I think has a handle. I will have to search for it. It does. Has a handle. Don't know why. Like the fact that I can do that with it. And yes, it does make a noise. But that's also quite calming. And it feels quite nice. Just rolling it up and down my arms feels nice. And you can squish it and it does that, which I like. As apparently so does the dog. Jake, you can't eat this. I have this one, which used to look like that purple one, but the dog popped it, so it no longer does. But it has the same sort of texture, the same sort of abilities. I quite like it because I can use it on my arms, I can use it on my body, I can use it and rub it against my face, which in turn calms me down. I can pick it up, and I'm still able to pick it up and do little things with it because it does also have a handle, which is quite handy because I do that quite a lot with things that I need to calm myself down. I don't know why. Apparently I've done it since I was little. Plus when I'm flapping, things tend to be in my hands anyway, so it's quite handy that most things that I flap with are either really soft or are designed to be flapped with. I have finally got, oh no, this isn't a ball, but it's made out the same thing. I think it's actually meant to be a snake. It's got eyes, or a caterpillar or something similar. It's also got a hangy-uppy thing. Don't know why, haven't worked that one out yet. But it lights up, which you can't really see on camera because it's almost the same colour. But it does virtually the same thing as the other ones do. It does that. And yes, the dog is investigating it. You can't eat it, Furball. It is quite calming. I like rolling it up and down my arms. I like having it there and just throwing it in the air. I like pulling it because it is actually designed for pulling, I think. And I like its eyes. Its eyes are squidgy. I like squidgy. Its eyes are really squidgy and really happy. And it lights up, which is again another sensory thing. Like, it just gives you the opportunity to have extra sensory things in one go, rather than it just being a snake or a caterpillar or whatever the hell it is. I have these two balls. This one, a lot heavier than this one. Both squishable, both malleable, both make a pretty cool noise when I squish them together, but they're also really easy to drop because I drop everything. I like this one because you can squish it, and when you squish it, if you can see, there's like white stuff inside of it, which makes it look like it's a snow or a snow globe or a thunder sort of thing, and I love that. But I also love the fact that I can play throw and catch with it. For those who don't know, it did actually take me years of OT and physio to learn how to throw and catch, and now I get a lot of sensory enjoyment from doing it. So I use that for that. This one, however, yes, it's still squidgeable and it's still pretty cool, and it does make a weird sound when you squish it too much, but it's also weighty, it's heavy. So I use it, you can't really see it, but I use it mainly on my back and my neck and roll it round that way when I've got tension there and I need to calm down. I use it to play throw and catch really lightly though, not like throwing it too high because it is heavy, and if it lands on something there's a potential it could break. And I use it to roll in my hands, on my legs, and a lot of the time under my feet to just relax myself, relax my muscles, calm myself, get my thought processes out, because that does help me. Doing this with it helps me get my thought processes back into order, which is quite difficult to start with a meltdown happening or anxiety attack. This way I get the chance to actually take my thoughts, think everything through, process, while also keeping my hands busy, which is what's needed a lot of the time for me. I have this. I can't really explain what this is because I didn't come up with the idea myself. I came across a video by Fathering Autism, which I will link below, that explains what this actually is. But what's inside of it is gel, like hair gel, squeezy hair gel, sequins and glitter. And it's a sensory toy essentially. I like the fact that it's small, so it'll fit, because it can be folded up, it'll fit in my bag. It's squidgy but not overly squidgy, and it's got a few of my favourite things in, like shiny stuff and glitter. And I also made sure it's Jake proof, because this way there's clear glue on the inside of the zipper so it doesn't fall out and things don't get broken and gel doesn't get everywhere. But I like it because it's transportable. I also like it because this is something that when I've got high sensory needs but I can't use a lot of sensory items, say if I'm out and about for the day, I've got the option to actually use this and use it for what its intended purpose is. I will link the video of Fathering Autism, Asa, talking about this when I found it. I have this, which I'm pretty sure most people know what this is, so I'm not going to explain. But I have several of them. I have one in here, I have one in my bedroom, one in my bee bag, which is my everyday bag, and one in my kitchen. I use it basically to keep my hands busy. It's just another fidget that keeps my hands busy and calm while I'm communicating or doing stuff. And it helps me to relax after a meltdown because I always need something in my hands. It stops me from self-harming and stops me from hurting myself, which is important. And it also means that when things get difficult, I've always got one there for me to be able to communicate my thought processes, be able to sit there and fiddle while I thought process everything. And plus I've used it to help myself get to sleep when I've been in a strange place as well, which is quite handy. But this one lives in my sensory box. Spider-Man, not exactly a sensory toy, but because of how my brain works, I use Spider-Man to protect all my sensory toys, especially from Jake, who likes to eat everything and anything he can see, which is also why my sensory box has a lid. The very last thing I have, again not necessarily a sensory toy, is a book. It's a Welsh book that's also got the English, so it's bilingual. It's called Molly the Cow Who Moo She Was Different. And it's a cow named Molly. It's about her. She has autism. The farmer doesn't know that until the vet comes to see the Molly, and the vet tells the farmer, "You've got an autistic cow." Molly line sticks up. Molly doesn't like change. She hates loud noises and loads of people. But she also, towards the end of the story, after being bullied, is seen as someone with value, with support, with love, with care. The farmer puts her in charge of jobs on the farm after the vet brings her son to talk to Molly. He realises he's got a very special cow. And the other cows stop bullying her because they see how good she is at her jobs. I love this book. I love it so much that I read it when I get anxious, because it does give me the remembrance that I am valued, I am loved, I am cared about, and that other people do understand it, because this was written by, or at least helped to write by, other autistic young adults, and I adore it. I'm not sure whether it's available anywhere else. I can try and find out. However, this is mine. I love it. And that is everything in my sensory box. Thanks for watching. Bye!